Trump assassination attempt, market reactions. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ainslie Insights, brought to you by Ainslie Bullion, Ainslie Crypto, and the Gold and Silver Standard as the Ainslie Group celebrates 50 years. Today, we welcome back Sam, who's been trying to make sense, like all of us really, of a very confronting and turbulent weekend. How are you going today, Sam?
Good, Chris. Good to be back.
Good to see you. Now, I know you're probably like me. You couldn't stop watching everything that was unfolding over the weekend.
Mm.
That assassination attempt certainly caught the world's attention, I think. The markets are just opening up now and reacting after that. What are you seeing so far, and how does that connect to the incident as far as you see it?
Well, the assassination attempts being generally viewed as boosting Trump's odds of winning, which isn't too difficult to understand. If you look at the website Predicted, you can see there's been an increase in the bets that Trump will win the election. Look back at what happened to Reagan, same thing, right? And he immediately afterwards went up 22 points in polls. So it's a clear sign that, someone becomes the underdog in a way. A lot of this drama was about January 6th and, Trump being the aggressive sort of violent side of things. But that's kind of hard to keep that point going when he was shot with an assault rifle. So it's very hard to keep that narrative now. So what we've seen so far in the markets, we've seen a lot of speculation the day it happened immediately. And there have even been some bets on, the crypto market going up because his higher chance of winning supports the risk markets potentially. US dollar has gained in strength, as well as the S&P 500's had a gap up. So a gap, obviously, when the candlesticks have a space between them. People have been buying so aggressively on the S&P 500 that there's actually a jump in the chart where there's no price history. So that's a very, very bullish sign for the stock market.
I mean, I look specifically at Bitcoin. I look at that a lot, and I know Trump has said that I think in 2 weeks or about 2 weeks he was heading to a Bitcoin conference. They're still going to do that as well. So yeah, very strong signs there, and we've seen that really take off this morning on the back of that for sure. Do you think the prospect of a Trump victory is overall supportive for the stock market? Because that seems to be the message we're getting here. If you've got those major indices already rising as they have been today, but they're already up a lot this year, will Trump really be able to make the changes that he wants? Is he able to drive that further into next year if he does win the presidency?
That's a good point about, how much will he actually be able to change? But in recent decades, Republican victories generally improved consumer sentiment as well as CEO confidence. And that's a major thing. It's sentiment as well. Now, if there is or isn't a Republican sweep, how easy it is for Trump to make sweeping changes might not even matter that much on the policy side. If people have the positive sentiment, that's going to make people decide to spend more money, do more investments, just off the back of the sentiment. That's if people don't think sentiment's powerful, they can look back to when Jerome Powell was tightening rates and everyone was brushing him off and they just kept spending money. He actually came out and addressed it directly and pretty much told people, stop spending money, stop being confident, or I'll raise interest rates more. So we had to threaten the sentiment out of people. Now, Trump's got the opposite. He has he very much promotes the stock market and a strong stock market. So investors might just take it as a given that if he comes in, they should start spending more money. The other thing is Trump is looking to replace Powell, and he hasn't made that secret. So Powell's a bit of a hawk. He'll probably want to replace Powell with someone more dovish who will eventually lead to weakening the US dollar in favor of the stock market and in favor of things like gold, which is where people run to when the currency starts to be debased.
And that's really very interesting because we've had Powell there, or really a combination of Powell and Yellen there in that position for quite a long time, who probably look at the world through one lens. And if we get someone coming in who's looking at it through a very different lens, it really could shake all that up quite considerably.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially with the way Trump's looking at shifting a lot of policies, with large tariffs and things. This could put a lot of stress to change on the Federal Reserve.
And you made a really interesting point in the article today. You had that big letter there, sort of put out the Democratic House leader.
Mm-hmm.
They met with Biden over the weekend, talking about. Well, it's hard to really interpret that
It was
communication
very
in a
vague.
positive way, right? Like it was vague, but it certainly wasn't clear that they were behind Biden. Do you think there is a shift happening there? Is it what's really going on? Because I'm reading lots of different things, and it doesn't seem to be good overall.
Well, it didn't say anything specific about who they should back or who they shouldn't back. So some analysts are saying, well, this doesn't mean anything. But if you read it honestly, it looks like a passive aggressive breakup letter. I mean, it's talking about we need to look at the future, we need to look out for the American people, and we need to have a candid look. And it's saying these very passive aggressive, yet subtly supportive comments about Biden. So it looks like his support is basically evaporating. That is, except for on the Republican side, because there are rumors swirling that Republican PACs are literally suing, trying to keep Biden in the race. So it looks like Biden is the Republican MVP. Probably because his weak performance in the debate, they really want to see him stick around so they can have an easy ride to another Trump victory. So if the Democrats want to fix this, they need to maybe make their letters a bit more aggressive and find someone else quickly because they're running out of time.
Well, and just on that point, I know, and Trump had said that I think he's heading there today, probably our time or tomorrow, wherever that turns out, to the Republican convention. And that's where you get all those lawmakers or all those party heavyweights together, and they formally nominate him as the candidate. The Democrat version of that will be coming up. So they really are running out of time, aren't they? Because you need to sort that out before you get everyone together. Otherwise, it's just going to be, you would imagine, a bit of a media circus.
Yes, I mean there's a catch-22 because they could purposely be delaying it as well because they want to protect, their asset from media scrutiny. Because Trump is very aggressive on the let's just say insults. He can derail opponents, and he can say things that they might sound inappropriate coming out of someone else's mouth, but it just kind of seems like his typical personality when he says it. So he can make the fighting very ugly in the debate scene, which we've seen before. So they could be protecting potentially as well someone like Gavin Newsom or who knows, Michelle Obama, whoever they have. I haven't really seen anyone step up to the plate yet who looks like they're putting their weight behind.
What do you think about my long shot George Clooney gamble? Do you think he's got potential in there?
Well, George Clooney, look, he has about as much experience as some of the other candidates. But it would be interesting because he just backstabbed Biden as well. He said, Biden's not the person I met 4 years ago, and had some other quite harsh comments to Biden. So if he stepped up and said, yeah, I want to run, move over, let me in, that would be quite dramatic.
Well, if it happens, you heard it here first. I'll claim that one. I think it might be a bit of a long shot, though.
All right, Chris, we'll get that one on Predict It.
Get that on Predict It, see what my odds are. Well, thank you for that work on that today. It's certainly been a very interesting time. We'll still inevitably see it unfold because I'm sure we haven't heard the last of this yet. It's still filling my Twitter feed, that's for sure. So lots to still be paying attention to. But thank you for your work on that today, Sam.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll chat again soon.